poem is called Sturgeon by Kateri Akawenzi Band. I twist and gasp, open and close my mouth. Whenever a sturgeon is caught in the rainy river, I know. The feel of strange hands touching my body, the struggle to be free, the longing to go where I want to go. The feel, the impact of stick or rock on bone, the splash of color. Then the emptiness that is my head like a midnight sky if the stars and moon were captured by another heaven. I know. Even when I am awake again, sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my plate with its bramble design and rough, chipped edges, I know. This is why I do not eat sturgeon, because I know when a sturgeon is caught in the rainy river, I am the sturgeon, and I dangle on hooks.
Thank you, Kim, for okay, so we are going to start on our lineup today. Catherine O'Neill is the first one. Please join me in welcoming Catherine.
Thanks for the pickwork.
There's no food on this one.
No, it's just drinks.
So while Catherine is getting her things ready, I just wanted to say we always give out a gift to everyone who comes up to the mic to read. And Claire is running a bit behind today, but she will be here with your gifts. She's made something special for this month.
This is a little poem I wrote to cure myself of disappointment when I looked at the Avon River and saw it all muddy. The water is river thief. One night, when townsfolk were abed, a thief stole all at the river's bed. No flowing blue gown, muddy bottom exposed. Someone had stolen the river's clothes. The mayor called the town to the naked riverside. He figured it could be refilled if everybody tried to carry water from their homes in buckets. A cinch. But after 20,000 pails, it only rose an inch. They sank down by the riverbank, exhausted and depressed. The mayor had no more solutions, neither did the rest. Then one small child said the thought that made stomachs churn. What if the lovely river never ever does return? This caused the entire town to weep, to blubber, wail, and groan, to caterwaul and howl and sob, to boo-hoo and to moan. They sniggled, keen, lamented. The loss was so abhorrent. By nightfall down each riverbank, there ran a gushing torrent. Now the river's full again, swum by every son and daughter. Buoyant as the Dead Sea, because now it's all salt water.
Thanks, Catherine. And next we have Joe Oliver. Please join me in welcoming Joe.
Okay, my wife used to write little poems on cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, such, about pets and things like that. But I didn't realize she had a whole little booklet of poems. And they were just short usually, and she wrote one that inspired me to expand upon the theme. So her original poem was called Consumer Consumption. Standing here feeling out of place, not in pace, not, sorry. Standing here feeling out of place, not in pace with the consumer race, waiting on the outside, looking in for a change of attitude to begin. A non-consumer ignoring the spin, the future from here is looking grim. So I decided to write my own consumer-based poem. It's called Just Enough. Buy more, we're told. Things aren't that bad. Don't fret, there's always more to be had. Worry about debt later if you must. But till then, it's either boom or bust. GDP must expand and be constantly growing to keep the supply of goods and economy flowing. Consume more now. It's your patriotic duty. But what do we do with all of this loot and booty? Things we don't want or don't really need. We buy regardless, without any heed to the finite resources of our sole planet Earth, or the possibility of future generational growth. The fate of the environment is on a slippery slope, but lithium-ion is to be our plan and saving hope. And if that's not enough, technology will miraculously find some other magical way out of this troublesome mind. Ultimately, can't we see that the most logical assumption is that the best defense is a little less consumption? Imagine not working slavishly just to pay the bills and having more time for yourself to do what you will. No need for a monster house to cram with more stuff while others live in hovels or on the street in the rough. And who really needs a monstrous vehicle 600 or more horsepower strong? Gas or electric doesn't matter. It really just seems wasteful and wrong. And while we grow more anxious and poorer day by day, the billionaires stash more of our money tax-free away. They buy private jets, resorts, and super yachts, as long as they can have, to hell with the have-nots. And if anyone suggests they pay their fair share, they're aghast at the idea and scream, "Don't you dare!" Their money buys access to political power and clout to make sure the gravy train never runs out. Call me idealistic, even naive if you insist, but the concept of fairness is hard to resist. Sure, it's difficult to imagine, and it could be tough, but what if we all had and consumed just enough?
Yeah.
Do you have any snack?
I'll grab you a menu for that. Can I get any drinks going though?
I don't think so. Maybe not.
Just water?
Okay, and next we have Mateo. Please join me in welcoming him.
Hi everyone. This is technically my third time doing a poem that I ever wrote to people. I've been writing for a very long time. And recently, I've been writing a lot about war, genocide, children. And this is one of those ones. I killed a bug. I reacted instinctively, as one does when something hidden in darkness quickly crawls into awareness when you shine light onto it. Right after I knew what I did, I felt guilt. Instinctively, I killed. An action celebrated as courage, strength, and manliness is painful in the heart. Instinctively, I killed. I somehow learned to shoot first, ask questions later. Instinctively, I killed. I could have been more curious. I could have learned from it. Instinctively, I killed, but it was a bug. And my guilt lessens ever so slightly. We all know a bug's life isn't as pressure. A bug doesn't dream, nor sing, nor play with sticks that detect treasures buried in sand. I have heard the chants of starved children in concentration camps. May their songs continue reminding me that life is precious. Life is sacred, from the river to the sea.
I had that thing bag, sorry.
Yeah, so all we have available right now is the warm olives with ricotta, fancy pasty, fries, and barnells. Okay.
Thanks, Mateo, and thank you for coming back and continuing to share with us. I really appreciate your poetry. Next up, we have Yashika. Please join me in welcoming Yashika. We're going to try and take the mic out, but if there's feedback, then we'll just do round two for Yashika. We're all about trying new things, so if you want to try something out, this is the place. Go for it, Yashika.
Hello. Okay. So I actually memorized something, which is not something that I usually do. So bear with me if I stumble along. But yeah. Come what may, come what may. I am a warrior in my mind. In the mirror I say. As a child I began to speak up. When my ideals grew, the distance between my family grew. Now they tell me family is everything. I get the urge to scream. Who is this monster swirling inside of me? My mother asks me, why are you so silent? Why can't you just express? I am a madness stuck in a den. How do I tell? How do I tell? Back in 2020, I'm sitting at the dinner table rambling about the sexual division of labor. What do I know about the politics of family? But where am I little girl? And I've got a lot to learn still. Come what may, come what may. I'm a warrior and strength is all I chase. I've learned the art of smiling, of wrathful beguiling. I was quiet for too long in my pain. Now everything that hurts, I keep it in me until I finally explode. Come what may, come what may. I'm every little girl's rage, ready to slice her way into this chaotic age. Put up a mirror for humanity and say, I understand your fury, but this is no court with a jury. This is life and death like a journey. So let it come, what may come. Let it go, what needs to go. For a moment, close your eyes. Forget the future, forget the past. For a moment, close your eyes and say, come what may, come what may.
Is this your water?
No, it's yours.
Good order of fries.
Fries.
Hi everyone, sorry that I was late. I was at work. Today's gift is a little oracle card everybody's going to get, and I've been trying to design this thing called a poetry pharmacy. So in your little things, you're going to get a little poem about poetry. So I don't know what everybody's going to get. And we might want to do something nice in the break, is to create a poem or think about a poem from the card that you got or the poem that you received, or if you wanted to share the poem. But that's something something fun. And hi. And hi.
And Yoshika, I just want to come back to that poem because I know that takes a lot of courage to try something different, and we're here for you, and you did amazing. Now Yoshika is going to be opening for the Spoken Groove at the Pathways to Poetry Festival next Saturday. Yes. She's one of the spoken word artists, and so is Jeremy, who's up next. Jeremy Vanessa.
Verbal vomit vindication. Saturday's sleep swallowed me for 16 sweet hours straight. Well, 6 weeks I guess is too long to push back on a date. Showers will run for 2 hours or more even if you're running late. But each time they ask me how I've been, I default to saying great. The mirror and the camera spew a volcano of venom. I guess I'm just a collage of scars stitched like patches into denim. I said I'd make it to the meeting, but I awoke a little after 11. And now I hear that little boy's voice say, I'll meet up with you in heaven. I think I lost track of my true face under a myriad of masks. And I think I lost all ambition when facing procrastinated tasks. I know I lost less friends than I gained when I dropped the flask, but I also think I lost the fear of last breath's deadly rasp. They tell me just face 24 today, and 7 times make up a week. But 60 times that 24, tears brushed off dirty cheek. 70 times 7 sins, and heaven bless the meek, but I lost myself in mental meadows when I went out to seek. There's a mirror maze malignant now. I think it's split vision in two. And reality seems translucent when I think of the person that was you. There are different words, all words meaning have a few, and there's no direction up in space, but Earth's north has lost its true. A coffin-shaped comforter calls, so for now, I say adieu.
Thanks, Jeremy. Next we have Kenny Fulton. Please join me in welcoming Kenny.
I have one poem today, but I'm dividing it into 2 for now and then later. My formative years. I grew up next to Beaner's Bush in the town of Saugeen Shores. It was called Port Elgin then. I could see the harbor from my bedroom window. I loved to spend time in the forest, both in winter and in summertime. I'd cross-country ski among the cedar trees during the winter storms. The howl of the wind was muffled. I felt embraced by the snowy boughs. On calm, bright blue jay January days, the sight of white birch thrusting bare branches into cloudless skies stopped me in my tracks. Head thrown back, heart aching and singing, my God, it was so beautiful. The woods also welcomed me when the snow was gone. I'd roam the worn, sandy pathways to the turtle pond, where I'd sit and watch the snappers hunt for frogs during lazy afternoons, listening to the poplar leaves susurrate in the breeze from the nearby shore. The trail through the trees
spit me out on the shore of the lake known as Huron. And next we have Pamela John. Pamela. Today, September 20th, is my big sister Ruth's birthday. Ruth was killed in a car accident on September 4th, 1978. So today Ruthie would have been 70. And I wrote this poem called The Day You Died. And this is the first time I have ever read it, not only in public, but to anyone. It is in a book, but this is the first time it has ever been shared. And given it's your 70th birthday, try to do it without crying. The day you died, you broke the sound barrier, swept away in your little yellow Honda, sunshine taken from us in an instant. The dark clouds of midnight and a phone ringing split the silent night. Terse voice, put your father on the phone. Every hair on my neck stood up like a wild animal. A predator sliding between the worlds of all we'd known to be. Our safe and perfect circle of family. The silence shattered, hearts cracked open wide, our mother's keening wail. A knife that cut the hollow of my collarbone and sliced open all the way down to my heart. Now, beating a staccato pulse outside my body. Curled up on the green carpet in my sister's bedroom, the sound barrier broken with this wolfen cry of no, no, no. From our mother's broken heart. The bookend to the sound of your birthing, the push that released you into her arms. A promise that you would outlive her, now a barren echo. Pulsing beyond this sorrow, your spirit soars beyond the veil. A sense that you have not aged, your blossoming youth perfectly preserved. Like a flower pressed between the pages of a holy book.
Is that her? That's never happened before.
Wow. That was powerful.
Thanks for sharing that for the very first time with us. Up next, we have Leslie Walker Fitzpatrick.
So it's photography, mainly, Rock Lake and Algonquin. I was very lucky to be able to go up there many, many times over many decades and photograph with many cameras, from single lens reflex to my iPhone. Anyway, so it opens on Saturday, October 4th. I'm working hard towards that. But you poets might be interested in the fact that I'm doing a reading on Sunday, October the 5th, at 2 p.m. They're writings that were mainly written up in Rock Lake, but also interspersed with some from my book, Mother Speaks. So that's at 2 o'clock on Sunday at the Aurora Gallery, October 5th. I, Mother Nature, have given my beings the 4 elements to live in resounding, astounding, resplendent beauty and bounty. Water and rivers and veins, winds to fill lungs and sails, ground upon to stand and grow, fire to balance and to know. Many rings of time needed to tree know the spiral dance, strong arms, supple hearts to sway with wind and sky, to beat heavenly foliage wings, to grow in the balance of up and down, roots of wonder, linking, communicating, embracing, holding creation together, enchanted beyond any magic spell. Use your paper, your wood well. Dryads lovingly sacrifice beloved limbs to make books of beauty and pulsing musical instruments divine.
Thanks, Leslie. Next, we have William McDonald. He's joining us in the
Hi. Yeah, thank you. So this isn't really structurally a poem, but it's poetic-ish, I think. It's called Voices of the Dead. Harmony sings stupid, she growled through cut her teeth, unaware of her airs or the lack thereof, edging a menthol through lips the color of drunken plums and shivering there in her paper-thin skin. The Witch of Weaver Street, they called her, in her polyester pink housecoat, bare and ugly leper's feet. She'd sit there in her crochet folding chair from grapefruit red dawn until the moths flew drunkenly into the streetlights, which themselves flickered in fear of her presence. She can paranoid watch through alligator eyes at suspicious boys on bicycles, casting judgment on incubating mothers, surely incompetent, and always offering opinions on deep police impotence, viewing cultural shifts with sneers of ignorance. Once upon a time, she was the premier seer in this neck of the woods, offering tarot and tea readings from right there on the porch. Beware the 3 of Pentacles. There are those who may conspire against you. See them there, whispering under the porch. Always accurate, or at the least reliable. Major Arcana card of the Sun. You are the babe riding a bomb in its warmth, nubile, innocent, but also totally unprotected. Remember, this is the same white mare that death rides. They line up for walks barefoot in sometimes flooded streets. You'd spit at their feet and took cigarettes or gin for payment. Below, you will reach your pinnacle, your zenith, see your accomplishments set in stone, but always remember, he who stands atop the world also always stands alone. The husband that she once had, speaking broken Polish up the green pipes, fire escapes, and twisting ivy like her arm of thick witch fingers, puff of smoke fortunes. The hanged man, one door closes, another opens. The upside-down chariot and the 2 of swords. Another shall attempt to assert control over your life. Fear open flame, beware of arson. Now a long-forgotten piece of lore, she helped the police solve the murder, and the world still bled sepia. Her fingers had still flipped through the pages of grimoires. A saucer her son shot twice and dropped down a bell. The bullet went back to the uncle's gun. She'd written up front page of paper for that, attributing her success to God and Jim. For an extra fee, she performed a curse to send his soul forever to hell, but that Casey Tidbit never made it in. The people stopped coming one day, the lilacs were in bloom, because they no longer needed magic. Save for the odd desperate lover who buy potions from the stovetop crock pot, Spanish fly, mandrake root, the lover's tragic doom, and when the oral elected, she'd sabotage with a blunt blessing because she didn't like his tax plan. She worked exclusively in curses now and selfish crystal ball clairvoyance, muttering in her mother tongue quiet murmurs of murder and scribbling names of neighbors and bits of vulgar Latin on the key canvas scrolls by the sun's highest light at noon. Yahweh Patrodon in Mount Crucian, Arabescu, dropping them silent and smoking into vase of stagnant water where one dead pale rose bloomed at the full moon. The noisy neighbor's basement flooded, another got roaches, and the woman who cut her off at the grocery store and her dog was by a cement truck. With her gnarled mandrake root fingers, she thumbed mottled pistachios onto her cancer yellow green, and she shook her head. Once they had lined up to see her, bringing gifts and making a commodity of her gifts. Now they feared and mocked her, speaking in hushed tones from across heat-cracked streets, children abandoning pigskin footballs to the cracked skeleton grass of her yard to avoid her piercing, ugly-eyed stare. She spits at you, you're cursed, they'd say. My mother says she eats toads. She spit now and said the words again. Harmony sings stupid. But they weren't her own words, but the words of the dead, all flower-eyed and angel-tongued, also glossolalia, voice of visions, the hum of the world that we all hear, but which she had tuned into, which now grew louder and louder still to a cacophonous roar, loud enough to drown out the droning summer cicada rhythm of the air and the ugly howl of sirens, the caterpillar din of alley cats fighting, and the distant crunch of dry creek bed beer cans. These were the last words of the witch of Weaver Street, and like the words of many, they were not her own. She died then with a short cough, and Samael, the ancient angel of death, descended to retrieve her soul. He recognized her as a fellow walker of the way, allowed her to stand and take his hand. And under the unblinking eye of Celine, they walked together down the winding silver road to home.
William, that is a poem.
Yeah, definitely a poem.
And poetry is it's so flexible. Like there's so much we can do with a poem, and a huge part of poetry is the imagery, and that was full of very vivid imagery. So that's poetry. Poetry is also, there's prose poetry. So don't feel you have to limit yourself to the poetry. And also, I would suggest that you don't need to make an excuse for, is this or isn't this a poem or how you're saying it. Just feel confident. It's like you're sitting here with a group of friends and you're really impressed. So just try out anything. Claire Chapel is next.
I love that poem. It's my alter ego is the crone, which is that lady right here. Yeah. I was like, oh, you're talking about me. This one's called Lost Souls. My cousin said he looked like Gandhi, sitting in his last bed with our bunny. Memories of the dead always had a different printing in my mind. Memories, are they real? Some are clear, but most are held on fragments. Looking through eyes of four, the past so much further away. I don't remember him as a man or a father. What did his voice sound like? Did he have an accent? What does that even mean, father, when they die when you are young? Always wondering what grief is harder. It was nighttime when he took his last breath. He saw visions of white horses in a chariot, and I'm not sure if he was scared. My mother was there holding him till the end, not knowing that two little twins are not fast asleep, awake and aware when half their world ended. We both dreamed of him that night. We found out a year later, while describing to friends the same one, a dream of him, a knowing, an ending. The morning after, I tiptoe up the stairs to the ironic living room, bathed in golden light. The memory still makes me feel peace. The house is quiet. I am alone. I am serene, a weird sense of calm. The young me knows that he is gone, that he is not coming back, that he is somewhere else, and that I am loved. I remember the funeral and the people and my mom collapsing at the grave. I remember the limo and the coffin and crawling inside to see if she had shoes on. I remember the wake and the drunken people slipping out windows. I prayed to him and sent him messages through a make-believe mailbox. I filled with X's and O's, imagined him golfing with Jesus and God in the clouds. I pray still, but don't seek him out. I want him to be happy and free without the worry to answer them, not being pulled back to this old world. But I miss him. I miss him in movies and stories and family photos and milestones. So I gravitate to people like me, to lost souls who have lost.
Thanks, Claire. Jack Narman is next. Please join me in welcoming Jack.
Thank you. I learned a new word last week, so then I threw it away because it was a science word. So, and it came back and became a poem. So, I don't know. Petrichor. Petrichor is technical, a term to describe the moment that rain hits the parched ground, issuing that rich, earthy smell. But I don't have a word to describe the deluge of your presence as it alleviates my soul's drought. A scientist can explain away how microorganisms are released when long-suffering desiccated dust is blessed by sudden inundation. But I'm not soil, and my heart's not science. The earth is thankful for relief, not caring the drought cycle begins anew when the rain moves on. But I suffer because you choose to be a downpour, a mad monsoon whose torrents breach my embankments. So please spare me your episodic visits. I choose to be alone, a desert rather than deserted. No petrichor of love, you see. Your pendulum swings are just not for me.
Thanks, Jack. Next up, we have Louise. Louise.
Hello everyone. So I'm going to read a poem called Breaking into Blossom. Sorry. And so I just wanted to, before I read this poem, I'd like to say a few words about the author, who is Anna Ing. Okay. Anna was Mississauga's first poet laureate from 2015 to 2017. And she is a poet with 7 poetry collections. And she's going to have a session with the Stratford Writers Festival next Friday afternoon at the public libraries, and hope you all can join that. So, I'm going to read Break into Blossom. Oh, yeah. mention that she wrote this poem after receiving the book from Stratford James from Hailey and translation. So she wrote it for us and for our shared land. Here in Riverwood Garden, I come across the Credit River. Morning night softly touching its lush banks. I open Stratford James, a gift from you. Its fusion of poetry and photos transports me into another tranquil journey. Shakespeare Gardens room in my mind. Spirit trail awakening with rising bird songs as the Avon River flows with renewed stories. Morning mist curls in the breeze. Swan glide past the inland lake. A heroine leaps from the creek's edge. My footsteps echo your quaint lungs. From the boughs, from the wild, we take another drink. One drop, a shared curtain of light, a stream of wonders. We are all one, a cycle as old as life itself. Let our pages capture nature, history, and life. Let our souls cherish each gem of our shared land. A robin calls through a veil of birch leaves, and we are here and there. Amid quiet marvels, we break into blossoms. Thank you.
Thanks, Louise. So I'll do a plug for the Writers' Festival. So that is Annie Yin down there. So she will, and she's talking about poetry, health, and harmony. So it has a wellness angle to it, which is really interesting. And it's following the session on bibliotherapy, which also has a wellness angle to it. So we're looking at a lot of different elements of poetry. And those two events are both free at the library, so please come out. And next we have Ruth Mountford. Now Ruth will also be featured in the festival. So every year there is a Charlie Mountford fireside chat event. And that I've named in honor of Charlie Mountford, who is the founding father of poetry in Stratford. So Ruth will be reading one of Charlie's poems at that event before I sit down to speak with Marilyn Simons, which will be very interesting conversations about creativity, friendship, aging, all of those special elements we face and enjoy. Ruth, please come up.
Knows that I'm not a poet, but I read Charlie's poems for him because he can't read words. Damsel flies. Sometimes, when I'm standing behind the screen door of my kitchen, I'm sure that what I'm looking at is not just my garden, pleasant as that is, but the whole world, with its mountains, its rift valleys, its retreating glaciers, and its deserts that grow and grow. And I'm grateful for the grass, the cabbages, the sunflowers, and the handful of things that I plant each year and worry about and follow as they move from infancy to old age in a single summer. All that I'm lacking in my garden is a stream with damselflies that dance for one day only, freely taking everything in, not caring at all if the day they are given is pleasant, with sun, or, tragically to me, somber and unpleasant. Not a good day to be alive in, unless it is your only day.
Thanks, Ruth. And next we have Jeremy Schnuppel.
Sorry if you've heard this before, but I'm Joni. This is called Basil Basil. Yeah, it's a prose, I think. I also, I'm just gonna go.
That's good, just go.
I had a mystical revelation. It came to me by loving a cat that isn't mine. His name is Basil. Well, actually, it's Basil. Some cats can reveal great mysteries. I think it's part of their spiritual contract. In some cultures, they're seen as placeholders, waiting for the return of the next wisest soul. Basil is such a cat. That apprehension you feel around a feline, I think it's their tether to the other world. They walk in tandem with this earth and the other, this land, the land of the dead, parallel universes, all the way back to the beginning of time. They see deep into your soul, to the places still broken, the ones in need of mending. They simply wait beside the fracture until they show you, gently or not. Basil is an outdoor cat, and he's a killer. Tiger striped, his markings are perfectly symmetrical, shoulders rising and falling, left and right, always stalking. He is beautiful. His eyes seem illuminated from a light unknown, green and piercing, and it's hard not to fall for his heart-shaped face, wild, untamed, divinely indifferent. I was responsible for this beautiful beast for 2 weeks. At first, I had no problem in letting him know. I let him in, he came back, I let him out, he came back. But as the days went on and the letting out got more scheduled, the anxiety of cars, clients, and other cats caused concern and calamity. And one crisp and perfect fall day, ideal for hunting mice and smelling the air, I could not let Basil out. And there we met the fracture. This cat had unleashed a trauma I thought I had buried, but it bubbled to the surface, intense and insane. I regressed to my 4-year-old self, the age when I first realized that the people you love will die and leave you. And in that moment, I shattered. The trauma, my father died when I was 4, at a time when I believed in fairy tales, princesses awakening, dragons are slayed, and the death can be reversed with enough belief in magic. So I tracked him in. With guilt, I fell to my knees, head in my hands, and sobbed, uncontrollably. This fear felt familiar, long forgotten, but all flooded back. I realized all in that moment that how I dealt with death was recreated in my mind whenever I could. I took every opportunity of my mother's absence as an imaginary death, worked myself up into a crazed state if she was 5 minutes late. And when she came back from a work, a walk at the grocery store, I would get this dopamine hit of her resurrection. This became a habit, and I naively thought I had played it out. But here I was, 44, paralyzed with pain that had been soothed, which had not been soothed. Basil resigned, stretched out sleepingly, completely unbothered with what he had pulled out from my subconscious. Here is the revelation of this prose poem. My mother, death and loss no stranger to her. Her father when she was only days old. Her brother when she was only years old. Her husband in her 30s. Barney, Morris, and Ron, her losses were great. She herself died for a few minutes in the aftermath of my birth, but that indeed is another poem, one of blood, magic, and mystery. And even with all this loss, she let me explore. Ireland when I was a teenager, India alone in my 20s, Europe for months at a time, no cell phone, no immediate communication, nothing to calm her nerves. But she let me follow my flow, without restriction, without hindrance, without words that would discourage, even though death and dying are high possibilities with adventure. After all these years, it took a cat named Basil to properly see my mother and understand that the truest, most pure love is freedom. Who I became is because of my mother. And with all her fear and all her panic and anxiety that we leave, I became me in those moments. I chose not to be afraid, but to wander, to be lost, to be alone, to be inspired, to navigate and figure it out, to stumble through language and laughter, darkness and security. But it was her letting me go no matter how scared and how worried she was, that taught me about real love. I do end up opening the door. He does leave, goes under the bush and into the neighbor's yard to explore and hunt, probably more likely just to sit underneath a hydrangea bush, to go to sleep on the cool, dark ground in the gentle breeze. A smile on his face, totally aware of his mischief, totally aware of his magic, and unchanged.
Don't you love how poetry can tell a story? A story of generations. It's incredible how we can do that with a poem. Just did as well. So you don't need to write a novel or a memoir. You can just write a poem about your life. It's a great place to start sometimes. Okay, next we have Hailey Houston.
Can you hear it? Okay. So my poem is called The Red Umbrella. It sits above my head, just being red. The drops drop low as I walk, very slow. Then all of a sudden it downpours. I run with my umbrella to the store. Swish! A car drives by and splashes me on by. As it hits my dress, it soaks me wet. Oh, umbrella, you didn't save me. No one did. I'm wet and angry. But it sits above my head, just being red. The drops drop slow as I walk very slow. It sits above my head, just being red. The drops drop low as I walk very slow. Then all of a sudden it downpours. I run with my umbrella to the store. And swoosh, a car drives by and splashes me on by. As it hits my dress, it soaks me wet. And oh umbrella, you didn't save me, no one did. I'm wet and I'm angry, but it sits above my head, just being red. The drops drop slow as I walk very slow.
Thanks, Hailey. Scott Tilson is next. Please join me in welcoming Scott.
Sometimes I come here and I'm not sure what I'm going to read, but this seems to be falling into place with what others have read. That's not it. I have a friend that he's been my friend for about 40 years, but he has some form of dementia. I'm not really sure what it is, and he's my age. And his wife dropped him off in Stratford a couple of weeks ago, and I picked him up and took him down to the river, but I had to write a poem about it because he's not the same man that he used to be. It's called My Friend. You're not the same person I used to know. Or are you in there hiding? Maybe not hiding from you, but I can barely see you. I try to reminisce about Costa Rica, Algonquin Park, deep spiritual truths, and the Sicilian meatloaf. You don't seem to recall, but a big belly laugh comes anyway. The events from the past stumble from your mouth, halved, quartered, and mixed like a corpse reviver cocktail. It doesn't help that you didn't put your teeth in. You wear a full-faced beard. That's out of place according to old religious standards that I knew. But it doesn't disguise the confused smile on your face. Your eyes don't connect with mine too long. The energy is meaningless as you fidget, drumming on your knee. Afraid to ask many questions and not wanting to tax the mind and the man, I ask, how's your family doing? Oh, Zach, he's over there. Like in another country, I ask? Yes, over where my wife is from. Oh, I say, Germany? Yes, he replies. Is he on a motorcycle or something? No, it's not a it's, so I ask, bicycle? He says, yes, a bicycle. And he got it flat. So goes the conversation for two other children that he has. However, he lights up when he struggles to tell me about his grandkids. We call her the Theanator, he says. And he laughs and he peppers that name in several more times. This man once had the gift of gab. He trusted me with dark truths about himself. We had a bond of brotherhood. He gives me a hug that lifts me off my feet, and he tells me he loves me. It's funny though, because inside my head, the thoughts are jumbled, halved, quartered, with some song lyrics thrown in. Perhaps you are still in there and speaking your mind. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. We are already over 3, which is incredible. This is such a full house today on a warm fall day. It's incredible to have you all here. Thank you all for coming. So I'm going to skip because I want to be able to do a second round. So if you want to hear my poems, you just have to come to the Spoken Groove next Saturday at 7. Right here for that. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back for round 2 of poems. Thank you, everyone.
I didn't want to be playing and go.
I missed last week, and it's or the last time. It's huge. Now, like all of this, like listening to everybody's, it's beautiful. It actually just makes my heart happy.
Starting to see like familiar faces.
I know, right? And then there's familiar voice, and like the voice is just so like I love it so much. Yeah.
So you said that.
Oh, sorry.
These ones are all unique, right? Or are these all?
No, so there's 9. So there's gonna be a second one of them.
Okay. So either way. I thought maybe I'll do it, and then I saw it again. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, so I wrote a poem about that guy around, and then I read this, and the very last line, contradicts this completely. It's like, I feel like that's a little bit of a bone to pick with that. I was like, I gotta say something about that because that's too funny. I read it and I was like, not last night, this last night. Oh, okay. It talks about being gets my last person. And then I read this and I'm like, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Even the peacock one.
When the French fries was landed, the smell was just like, oh, I love them too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. So, they were great. I'll add to dinner for my husband and I.
Yeah, that's good. At least you have leftovers now.
They were good.
Yeah.
But way too many for me.
Oh, wow.
Hi everybody, this is Hailey Houston. We're on a little break, but we'll be back soon in just a few short seconds.
I was going to question Claire's choice card, but she included in the pharmacy, I got stumped. She included in the pharmacy Sylvia Plath. So I gave Sylvia Plath too. Claire gave me a card with stumped. So I was what the hell? And then I see the pharmacy is Sylvia Plath. So all forgiven. We're good. We are so good. I'm happy for you, but I know. So I'm happy on my own. But my dog was disgusting.
I love yours.
Oh
my god, your umbrella is useless.
Right? It's always useless.
It's always useless.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
useless.
you think, oh, I'm gonna go outside and be dry, and then all of a sudden this car comes by and you're like, okay, this did not help.
No. In Ireland, no one uses an umbrella.
Right?
Very
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. I love it. Just above my head doing nothing.
Exactly, right? You're still getting wet, except for like this much.
That's
it's
it.
dry.
That's it.
Everything's still wet.
It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. I love that. So good.
I love that.
It really is. Like I can feel, and then you're just like touched, and then somebody touched you, without knowing your name. Like I don't even know. It just has to wait for you.
That's what I love about poetry. It's so expressive.
Yeah.
And it comes from such a, like, it comes from every part of a person's, like, emotional soul. And the feelings and emotions. It's amazing how we can all put, like, words to our expression.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You don't have to be a writer.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't have to be that. It's just words.
I am still a little bit afraid that I was just mentioning to me that I probably in another 5-10 years. And I will try.
Absolutely not. That would be a waste. That would be a waste for all of us if we waited that long.
Starting just a little bit.
Listen, and write it in your own language. Say it in voice. Like, literally, read it in the, like, what is it, Mandarin? Read it in Mandarin. Oh my god. No one, like, people know emotion by how you emote. I don't hear that. Oh my god, don't hear that. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. come. This is a perfect place. This is a perfect place. Everyone here is just like wants to like, I don't know, wants to support each other in any way they can.
By the way, I also like it when you
See, right? It's so good.
It feels like spontaneous, right? They just read it all together. Yeah.
Oh my god. No big deal. No big deal. You know, no big deal. Yeah, you got this. No big deal. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, it's nice to feel like you're like you write these things and then saying them out loud is very interesting. It just feels different.
I feel like maybe I was here in April.
I was here. Yeah. You definitely, like I'm Claire's twin.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry, Joni again. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you filmed me with Amanda.
I did.
Yeah, and that was amazing.
It was very
I loved it. That's what I remember. Just to meet the speaker, you guys. Amazing. Love it.
Yes, Friday. Next Friday. And yeah, I think it's for the speaker.
We'll send all that out. I think it's all on those things. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful.
We're going to start back in the next 5 minutes or so. So if you want to get a drink, go to the washroom, have a smoke, whatever you need to do, do that. And then come back.
I wouldn't like. I just couldn't. So like, that's why I said it's spontaneous because the music is in you. So you are like, yeah. That's why I feel like it's really. And a lot of like lyrics when you sing the song, right? It's like another. It's poem. Yeah, it's a lot of times a poem. Yeah. And make it into a song. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Art is a different form of art, right? It is a form of lyrics, so I thought I would go for it. Yes, wonderful. Definitely. Yeah. Well, lovely to meet you. Thank you. So good. Yeah.
I'm gonna check on my viewers. That's okay. Just a quick shout out to LJ, Roblox, and Acker. I applaud you for being here to watch our poetry, and you're welcome to stay online. We're gonna be rejoining in just a few seconds.
I love your poetry. It's awesome. The way you sing like that with it, it's so cool. Really love it. Yeah, I'm a musician too. So yeah, but I haven't found the way to incorporate my music with my poems yet. But you're an inspiration.
Oh,
thank you.
I can help you at any time.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we're back for our second round. I don't know why I kind of get feedback. Pam's sister's still here. She's like, listen, listen up. I don't like promoting myself either, so I'm comfortable a little push. I'm also on this poster. I'm doing an event at Karen's Tea Leaves on Erie Street. It's tea and poetry with me and Karen. So you'll be drinking tea tea and listening to me. So if that is something that you want to do, it's on Sunday from 10 to 11:30. And all the information is on this. So with that in mind, I'm going to start off this second round. This one's called Do You Want a Cup? Up, sure, stick the kettle on. As the water boils, we boil over. Confessions, steam, streams of consciousness, sticking behind eyelids. Sip the bitter, savor the sweet, black and orange. Hot in the throat, telling the truth, warm on the tongue, telling lies. Vapors value vitality's vulnerability. Conversations dipped in cups. Crumbling pieces into the void, adding secrets to the depths. The clinking of spoons wake up the dead, asking for a biscuit. As we read future in leaves, leaving molecules of the past in each sip. Do you want a cuppa? Up, sure. Stuck the kettle on. Give myself a card. What'd I get? Awesome.
Thanks, Claire. That was a pretty good job of self-promotion. Now, what Claire did is she's actually written an original poem for each tea tasting, the tea that will be tasted. So the poetry is paired with each tea. So it's a unique experience.
We'll see.
It's on Sunday, by the way, Sunday morning.
I did say Sunday, didn't you? Yeah, Sunday. I am great about it.
All right, and with that, we'll go to Catherine O'Neill.
Okay, I wrote this a few years ago. It's about being a bee. It's called Buzz. I'm a black note, hovering on and in between the lines of a melody you cannot hear. Or perhaps barely. Or perhaps barely. A slight buzzing in Corsica's winter ear. Invisible pathways lead onward, as real to me as roads to you. Though my horizon is ground, not sky. I explore, gather, delight in floribunda feasts. Most floral petals splay open to worship the sun. Patio season for buds. But some go upwards and inwards, encase enticing exotic scents, insist on entry through living post-annual doorways. I explore, gather, flower-bed vagabond, moving from cave to colorful cave. At times, sunlight filters through the womb-like walls of these caverns, so I am bathed in hues and scents of such intensity. For a few moments, I'm transformed. A tiny god in a miniature cathedral, crowned with golden dust, hovering in a sacred garden's egg, enshrined in a pink lady slipper or heavenly blue morning glory. Transcendence can occur in the unlikeliest of places. I don again the fuzzy armor, fly back, sated for now, to rejoin the hive's golden honey-filled kingdom. But primary residence remains afar, aloft, attainable only with a beekeeper's key, such secret code as is hidden in an undecipherable language called the buzzing of bees.
Thanks, Catherine. Okay, and Yashika is up next. Yashika.
So this is something I wrote really recently. It's kind of an unfiltered rough draft. The sky is vast, half blue, half smoke, half pink, some orange, the sun refusing to go down, blurred by the clouds. But eventually it finds its way out and cannot be angry forever. So I must go a little deep. These flocks of birds are pretty, but when one gets injured, they realize it's all a tactic to survive in the wilderness. Alone they will be once they're hurt. And these flock of birds might always look pretty, but the one flying alone looks mighty. Disregard the false faces, love those who should be, can be, want to be loved. But don't go on defining yourself based on their validation. The one alone is mighty. More of the sky is red, the sun sings steeper, it won't go down without an impact. The flock of birds might be safe and pretty, but the one flying above is the daring and the mighty. The sun has almost sunk and it has left its reminders all over the sky. You must go a little deeper. Stop trying to define. You expect your will from nature. Everything is undefined, so don't go wishing for always the sunshine. The sun is gone, but its red light might just stay a little long. The sky is vast and the sun has set into the night. Now let's wait again for the golden dawn.
Thanks, Yoshika. Yoshika actually comes to our community poetry all the way from London. And it really speaks to the community we've created here. So thank you for coming out, because while some poetry open mics in other cities have actually stopped, ours is vibrant and growing. So it says a lot about Stratford and each one of us. Okay, and on that note, Joe, who has been coming regularly since his first time at the open mic, is one of those people, right? We've created a supportive community here where people feel comfortable coming back and growing and sharing their words. So thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Hailey. This is a very welcoming space. I never would have imagined. I never would have imagined just a few months ago that I'd be up here actually reading something I've written. But it's been very pleasant for me to do this, and it's helping me cope with a lot of things right now. Okay, this poem today is called Love's Journey. I have to take my glasses off. Can't see with them all up close. This station has no posted schedules, no times of arrivals or departures, no stated destinations. When we're sent here, it's to ourselves to discover our own path with no guarantees provided. Like others, when I arrived, I waited and hoped for the beginning of that special journey I envisioned. Then one day, to my surprise and delight, there you were. Like me, a traveler on a similar quest for a sense of meaning in this life. Not knowing how long this trip might last, wanting to remain forever in the temporary present, we immersed ourselves in the pleasures of each stop along the way. Laughter, music, comfort, companionship, trust, hope, ultimately love. And though each stop throughout the years brought us closer to that final destination that we all shared, we were oblivious. We could not or would not imagine it. And we did not let it encroach on our youthful, carefree happiness together. But regardless of our disregard for the years as they passed, It ultimately came time for one of us to be the first to leave alone. Startling though its ready presence now was, reality, which had been grimly stalking us, had finally pounced. For you, given the choice, I would have voted to leave first. But as a dear friend wrote to me, in any loving bond, one will survive the other. The question is, who draws the long or the short straw? And ultimately, which is which? Here I am again, traveling on my own. The station's waiting room is now empty and silent. Though broken-hearted and melancholy, I am still thankful. Thankful for the blessing of the many wonderful years we did get to share together. There is this place in me, a place altered by our love, and I will honor it by keeping you always in my thoughts and in my heart, until I am compelled to relinquish that longer straw which I was begrudgingly bequeathed.
Thanks. All right. Next we have Jeremy Lynn Essel. Jeremy.
So my card was the peacock, and there's a message as well in there, which made me decide to write or do this poem, which I previously didn't think so. So I'll quickly read the peacock poem that I wrote about the card that I got. Peacock presentation, with words fanned out like feathers. My skin quivers without confidence, as if I wish to shed all tethers. Does a peacock know it's beautiful, as it tries to frighten us away? I don't know if my words are either, but like a peacock, I will display. So, there's a misconception as well with the word amends, that it means saying I'm sorry, but it's trying to make a healing, a bridge, a gap. And this poem is for somebody that I'm unable. The only amends I can make is leaving her alone, and rightfully so. So doing my end, I need to face what I did do and admit that, and move on from it and grow. So I had hoped for healing, but miserable memories meander back. I placed them each in a reservoir. Now I must face that stack. Like the girl I took to prom night. I know she saved my life, but I could not fly as high as her, so I took her wings with a knife. Broken promises and bottles were scattered on the floor, and walls painted red to hide the blood just for me to cut some more. I know I said I love you, but I could not feel a thing. I hadn't grown up at all, and yet I liked to buy a ring. You don't need hands to push. And I thought I got my way. I pushed and pushed and pushed again till I shoved her away. The roof had decent shingles, but her pillows were always wet, and I'm sorry means nothing anymore. Her tears or scars won't heal from my regret. Other women felt my eyes linger until it was my hands, and then I went back home to her to talk about our future plans. I dug my hole around her until she could not reach land, and I told her it was a pedestal, a twisted subconscious plan. A mutilated romance. I didn't play the devil's advocate. I became that twisted serpent, then threw at the fan my shit. I made peace with my father, and I finally got sober. I even forgave the men who raped me, but your chip is still on my shoulder. I cannot forgive myself, though others might be able. But speaking face to face with you remains off the table.
It's been 7 years since seeing you, 6.5 spent in waking death, 3 recent months of rereading your letters with jagged breath. I cannot make it up to you, I know that more now than I did then. But don't tell me I have a gift with words, I simply plead for brutal pens.
Sometimes when I hear a poem of Jeremy's, I think you should be the one doing the spoken group, so I'm not opening for it, but we'll get there, Jeremy. Okay. Kim Fulton's next. Kim.
Move it away from the, it can't be pointing at the speaker or it'll feedback. It's a practical, like, yeah, the mic can't be pointing at the speaker.
My formative years, part 2. Lake Huron. It has many moods. I've seen it at its best and worst. From sun-sparkling splish splashes during magical sunset July to roiling, boiling, blackest rage during late autumn storms. It took a young man I once knew. Sorry.
This has been a heavy day. One day, my boyfriend came by the house while I was on the phone with a friend. He wanted to borrow some binoculars. He said that his brother was missing. His Volkswagen Golf was parked at the main beach. Roof racks empty of windsurfing equipment. It was a harshly sunny November day. Wind ripped across whipped-up white caps, too many to count. It was a windsurfer's dream. We searched for him along the shore for many weeks to come. The mighty Lake Huron had swallowed him and didn't return him until spring. Sorry. No, yes. I attended his memorial service at the end of my grade 13 year. A tree was planted next to the harbor as a memorial to him, and it has grown tall and strong in the subsequent years. Lake Huron, it demands respect, where it can be dark, deep, uncaring, and cold. I experienced many joyful times at the Port Elgin Beach, especially in the summertime. I eagerly awaited every spring. Boom boxes competing for attention, blasting the latest 80s tunes, flirting with the tourist boys until the sun went down. To this day, I feel most at peace roaming those woods and that beach. They truly became a part of me during my formative years.
think we should all just have a moment of silence for all the loved ones that we've lost. Thanks, Kim. And thank you for sharing your vulnerable thoughts and feeling safe here in our poetry family.
Well, thank you.
There have been a lot of poems on this subject today, so I think you know you're in good company here. Many people have felt that. And sometimes loss of someone who's still with us is even harder. So we experience loss in many different ways. And with that, Pamela, do you have another poem to share?
Saying thank you to Heidi and to Claire for creating this space, this container, for the real work that it takes and for the vision, and it is just an absolute joy to see how poetry in Stratford is done through the bunker here, the festival. It's beautiful. And I loved your gift today, the poetry pharmacy. It's so exciting. And the oracle card, I got grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. So I actually was going to do a different poem, but I decided to do one that is from my book Wildlife, that came to me once when I was in California, and I don't know if you've ever experienced, this feeling haunted by a shadow. When it was a sunny, beautiful day, and we need to make friends with our ego, and we do, along the way, these shadow parts of us that arise, but it seemed like out of nowhere, I had this voice that was saying, what are you doing in February? Everybody up in Canada is freezing their asses off. You're on this beautiful day in California, hiking up this hill, and this voice wouldn't leave me. It was like this wearing a heavy turtleneck. And I thought about the ways that I dilute my own joy, and the ways that we can be haunted by these voices that tend to just drag us down. When with the pen to paper, when I got home that day, I wrote this poem, and it was like this place inside my heart that I wanted the doors to open, crack wide open, and just come closer to the joy and to the sunshine, and most of all, to the love. Come closer, says this love. I feel your pain. Rest here a while and give me your shame. Take off your garments and guilt and regret. Your shoes soaked with fear that burn with each step. You have wandered through life with these masks and defenses, blind and burdened, weary and senseless, while under your skin in this skeleton cage, your heart bird beats wildly, a symphony plays. Music that drenches your cells with perfume, a scent that awakens your soul, and you swoon. Come, dance, says this love. I will vanquish your fear. This garment of pain will dissolve with these tears. Sweet, salty surrender. In this sea we will drown. Naked and numinous. Down and down, down into the void where darkness gives birth. We tenderly tuck seeds of light in the earth. The ego cajoles, come back from the edge. It's not safe, you'll be broken. You'll die on this ledge. The soul loves the edge, begs we summon our wings. Love says, come. Come closer. Come closer. Together we'll sing. We've got to crack open to be light enough to fly, light as a feather, brave enough to die. And as we die, we are birthed anew, reeking with joy, a bliss, perfume. I've got you, says this love. Stop trying so hard. I'm waiting. I'm waiting right here at the door of your heart. Come, come closer, says this love. You smell so sweet, like roses and fresh bread and baby's feet. In love's embrace, all fear melts away. Stillness arises. We know where we came. To deliver our song. To deliver our song. Each note a love letter. Come. 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 Come closer. Come. Come closer, says this love. It only gets better. Thank you, Grasshopper.
Thank you, Pamela. Okay, it's almost 4 o'clock, but Starlight said we can stay till 4:15, so we'll just try and cycle through everyone and hopefully squeeze everyone in. When I was saying thank you before to our poetry community that we're growing here, there's a big thank you we have to give to Megan and Starlight as well for hosting us. Thank you, Starlight. You're the best, you're the best. Thank you. Okay, Willie McDonald, you're up next.
I would just like to thank Jeremy and Kim, sorry. I understand your personal experience, how hard it can be to speak, especially in a public setting about things like that. And the card I got actually was the snake, and it said time to heal. So I thought it was an appropriate, a synchronicity kind of thing, you know? So as an introduction to this poem, I find it easier to write about things like that in kind of an abstract way, I guess. And I was homeless for about 1.5 to 2 years when I was a teenager, and this poem is sort of about that experience. Coagulated rose petals of pig fetus drip drop crimson on starch white snow, feel it crunch. Willow fingers pointing, stark, knotted, arthritic and bare, to running water, a hunger lunch. hollow logs and banging dogs. Keep off there. A beggar's hunch. Pepsi Cola laudanum, nude and nimble boy, barefoot, barbed wire gymnasium, beer at rip, cerebral terror, a chilling neck across the air, miasma of memory, the girl with angel hair, memories of candle broth, swings, Swarovski chandelier, memories of calendula, and dress of clothes, send yellow flowers here, memories of Schedule 1, did you beat the beat? Memories of vegetation, sickly boy by moonlit prayers, softly counts his sheep, memories of nightmares, shaking, shivering, rolling fear, memories of summer days, the homeless son, an ice cold beer. Memories of morning glories, of poppy seeds and of arm's length of cacti. Memories of ass whoopings, spitting blood and teeth, marinate frozen steak with your black eyes. Christ face, Paul the wicker junkie rubs a salve on his stigmata. This apostle palsied by shaking palms, parlays with the demonic. A devil here, smiling hole appeared to Paul above the lip of ivory bowl. Sick from the drink or a lack thereof. Something of a combination like sick from the former on the former eve and the latter in the latter day, if you can dig it. Amused, indeed I can. What should I call you there, all red-caped and cloven behooved? And who would be you to speak on names? Here, all red-faced? Not the name, but whom? Round here they call me Paul. Call me anything then, but late for supper, if you'd be so moved. Indeed I would, or will, or shall. And so it was that the great devil, anything but late for supper, was formed in the minds of mortal men like a bus carved marble, or Gouda if you prefer it. They say some like it smoked. They do, they do. And so it was, so it was, so it was. Pardon me, but she's thick as French soup and only half as vile, eh? Or as French, think we'll go for a few too, what do you say? End up at the bottom of the barrel either way. Well then, seize the day. Carpe diem, my boy, the sun always rises over Ho Chi Minh, and anyways, this sort of sapphic indifference is precisely the way we wound up in this goddamn rabbit trap to start with. Listen here what I say. Never take the 2 less a day. You're saying go over? They'll cut 6 months off the bid by nature, you going big time. Range 6, shivs at the Hollywood Bowl. Don't like yourself cheddar? Why, them boys will make you Swiss. Though there's some, that there is, who said it to be pale and all waxy, sour as the moon, right? You said it, brother, on a cold and hollow night. Might be better, may I continue? In that terrible, trembling, ruddy and red face, shaking and squeezing anger of ours. Who were they? Likely your mother's sons, by. You pray with that same tongue? Aye, so these Orphic death hymns from the ugly slug itself. Hosanna, Hosanna. Chops chopped on chopping blocks, butcher's lines, and alligator tail. What about another, for the other side? Or how's about some baby gum? The butcher rips the rail. Hosanna in the highest.
Thanks, William. We're making the break between homeschool shortly. Jack Nolan. Oh, and he's written an original. No? Oh, yes, Chris.
You never know when, how Heidi and Claire are going to put you in a lineup. So.
Never know.
This one just worked out. The world has 5 senses, poets but one. The world sees chaos, images of hate. The world hears discord, the grind and the grate. The world smells ruin, effluence emitting. The world tastes fear when leadership's ill-fitting. The poets, oh so different, they rise to the occasion. Their senses touch, and when employed, facilitates persuasion. The world may well withdraw its hands, it sees just one dimension. The poets pinch, they hint, they stir. Their works promote ascension. They lift us up, propel and state, this realm can impact you. I've been moved, and with my words, I hope that you're moved too. For poets don't rush, don't follow a crowd. They dwell in quiet study. They stop, they dive, they contemplate all subjects, pure or muddy. So don't lose hope when hatred boils, or you feel disconnected. Just read a poem. Sit back and muse for meanings unexpected. A ribbon of truth runs through a work. It binds us, me to you. In a poet's hand, touch makes sense. It ties me here of truth.
Thanks, Jack. Everything that I was saying before about our poetry community, it's right in their home. All right. Ruth, do you have another poem? Ruth Mumford.
Short on the lines, this is short. And Charlie Holmes. I now know everything. I'm out in the middle of the street between ice cream and trumpet music. I walk slowly, watching the moments, irregular and translucent, break off from the main mass of time, which seems to have wings, big ears, and a trunk. A flying elephant, in fact. I am wearing shorts and sandals, a white t-shirt with ducks on it. I am 3 years old and I know everything that a person can know, which is nothing at all, and am therefore happy, or at least smiling.
Thanks, Lord. I'm going to make it only 2 votes to go, so it even gives me time to put in a plug that that's Ruth, who will be reading for the Charlie Manford Fireside Chat with Marilyn Simons. Let your friends know who are in book clubs. They love you. Okay, next, Hailey Houston.
Hello, everybody. So, in light of the Poetry Pharmacy, I received a card, and it is the Panther Spirit, Reclaiming Your Power. So, it's ironic, this morning I was at a women's group at the Phoenix Club, and I made a collage of self-love collage, and so I just wrote a poem on our break, and the theme of my poem is reclaiming your power with self-love for loss or the one that got away or whatever you want to pertain it to. So reclaim your power. I sit alone on my phone, mindlessly scrolling while I roam. The panther roars louder in the zoo, whilst I sit and think of you. We used to feed the deer with corn puffs in hand. We watched the band. I love the way you held my hand. If I snarl, just know this. It's just a cluster of words, a metaphor if you think. Dip, 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 as I eat my chips. To find solutions is not my end. It's the problems I find that my words cannot hide. Genesis. This is my beginning without end. Reclaim your power as I find mine. For divine intervention is poetry in line. I sit alone on my phone, mindlessly scrolling while I roam. The panther roars louder in the zoo, whilst I sit and think of you. We used to feed the deer with corn pops in hand. We watched the band. I love the way you held my hand. If I snarl, just know this. It's just a cluster of words, a metaphor if you think. Dip, 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 as I eat my chips. To find solutions is not my end. It's the problems I find that my words cannot hide. Genesis, this is my beginning without end. Reclaim your power as I find mine. For divine intervention is poetry in line. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Hailey. I love these spontaneous poems.
Right?
And this was Claire's idea with the orchid cards. Brilliant one, Claire. Always have good ideas. Okay, and we're going to wrap this up with Scott Tilson, who, by the way, has written an Indigenous poem and will be the Indigenous featured poet doing the Indigenous poetry reading for the land acknowledgement for spoken group and some of the other events at Stratford Writing Festival.
I got the chameleon spirit, and I thought, I know who used to be a chameleon spirit. And I thought, wait a minute, it's not their card, it's my card. And it made me think back that I used to have many faces. I used to be the father, the businessman, the husband, all kinds of different faces. But now, I try to be just one face, but it still applies. And there's lots of feelings and emotions going on here today, and I wrote a poem about feelings and emotions just the other day. It's called Who's There? Sometimes I wake up and it feels like impending doom of a hurricane is upon me. Other times I wake up and the calm waters of a still lake mirrors in my mind. When I'm in a storm, I ponder, what changed? Why am I lost again? Who am I today? When I'm in the calm, feelings of peace and gratitude fill my heart and veins. Who's that knocking on the entrance of my mind today? No questions asked. Maybe they are here to teach me to navigate the rough and the tranquil waters of life.
And that wraps up. Yeah, okay. It's still time for Joni. Joni!
Right, I got Learn from the Past. And the card is so good because there's no reason poems off. The reason, basically, the thing is because I can't read it because I have no glasses, but we write poetry to like change lives. Or we're changed and we need to write poetry. And this is not my poem, and I think it's a good tie-up for everyone. The artist is Ren. He's amazing, and he's a musician that you should... Anyways, I'm gonna read this. So this is his words, not mine. When I was 17 years old, I shouted into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, from autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there was no real winners, and there were no real losers in psychological warfare. But there were victims, and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath, it was a pendulum, eternally swinging from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win, it was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So as I got older, I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we're human beings. Ren, amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Johnny. That does sum it up well. Yes, Ren is amazing. And Canada has a huge role to play, actually, in his healing journey. So, yeah, he actually went to Calgary. That kind of saved him. So, yeah, very interesting story. And he's talented. Lyrics, poet, music, dance, the whole works. which is all being featured at the Stratford at the Pathways to Poetry Festival next weekend. Hope to see everyone there. Thank you, and we will see you in a month. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Starlight. What an amazing turnout today.
Thanks everybody again for all your vulnerability. Poems are about making us feel something, whether that's happiness, sadness, laughter, and I appreciate every one of you every time you come out, and I'm filled. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, guys. This is Hailey Houston. We're wrapping up. See you next time. Bye.